All right, now we're just going to switch gears on the fly. It's going to be great fun. Mr. Bill Barr, former Attorney General, writes in the Wall Street Journal, the Securities and Exchange Commission is watching you. He joins us now, former AG Bill Barr. I think he's still a good friend of mine. You wrote a tough piece in the Journal about a week ago. I know I'd get a smile out of you for that. Of course, you're a friend. Orwellian surveillance state by the SEC without warrants, investigating information. I score it, Bill, as 135 million some odd investors. That's how many. 135 million people in the investment markets. Names, addresses, birth dates, all kinds of information. You talk about 3,000 SEC personnel, 20 other regulatory agencies. Why does the SEC need to have this kind of information and invade our privacy?
They don't. We're crossing a real constitutional red line right now, and I've been appalled that there's not more pushback and people aren't more concerned about it. We have a basic set of rules in this country. As you know, banks, phone companies have a lot of records, personal records of ours, and vendors, credit card companies, and so forth. And the basic rules up till now have been that the government can't go and compel the production of that stuff about you, me, or anybody else unless there's some specific crime they're investigating, and this could be relevant to that crime. What the SEC is doing is saying, well, it'd be much easier for us if we collected all this information in advance, have everyone's investment accounts, the personal information about them, every asset they own, every trade in real time, so we can watch exactly what they're doing. Because if a crime commits in the future, we'll have all this stuff at our fingertips. And if we start going down that road, then the privacy of the American people will be utterly trashed. And that is truly a big brother society.
Yes, it is. You talk about the Fourth Amendment requires you got to have a warrant for probable cause of a crime to get that kind of information from all these kinds of people. So the SEC is just walking through that. They don't care. This is all about, I don't know what this is about. Control, information. I mean, I don't know what the motive is for it. I can't imagine.
Well, it's part of this avalanche of regulation, Larry, that is squeezing the life out of our economy. It's killing off medium and small-sized business so that it makes it easier for the regulators because they only have to deal with a few big companies that are usually, willing to cut a deal with the regulators. And this stuff is coming down the pipeline, as you know, at an unprecedented rate, and they're trying to slip this kind of thing through. But this truly has to be stopped because if we allow them to take the position that they can go out and gather up all this information just so they have it if a crime is committed, there's no stopping point to that.
So we need some deregulation, don't we? We need to roll back all these Biden regulations. I just saw an article. Right. He's put $1 trillion worth of regulations on the books. $1 trillion worth of regulations in only 3+ years. Bill Barr, old friend, on this show many times, although not quite recently, it's time for some deregulation. I know a candidate for president who wants to deregulate and cut taxes. And there's a little birdie that told me that you are now in favor of Mr. Trump's reelection. Is that true?
Yeah, well, I've said, the choice now is a binary choice between these two candidates. And of the two, I support President Trump. And one of the reasons is because I think many of our critical problems, including the regulation, crime, restoring law and order, restoring control over our borders, rebuilding our defense in this increasingly dangerous world, standing by our allies. I trust President Trump to do that much more so than President Biden, I think. And I also worry very much that in the batting circle with Joe Biden is Vice President Kamala Harris. I feel that under these circumstances, the Republicans have to win in November.
Well, you have said it. You said in your book, by the way, that you basically agreed with most of Mr. Trump's policies, per se. You wrote a heck of a good book about it. At least I thought it was a good book. You were on this show several times talking about it. I assume that's still the case. Let me ask you something else, though, on this trial going on in New York. As a former Attorney General twice. You were distinguished to AG twice. Bill, this guy, Colangelo, who was number 3 in the Justice Department, resigned his post. He comes to New York. He's now working as an assistant DA or something, but he has become the lead prosecutor for this Alvin Bragg case, which so many distinguished people think is without any merit at all. What's that all about? I mean, we don't have a terribly lot of time, but is that a connection? I mean, he was an appointee by Biden and by Merrick Garland, and all of a sudden he shows up in this New York courtroom. Does that show that there are clear links, dots connected between Joe Biden and this lawfare lawsuit against Trump here in New York? What do you think, Bill Barr?
I don't know if they're direct links because, frankly, this has gotten in the way of the federal government's cases. So I don't know what the federal government's posture is toward this as the government and the administration. I think there are a number of people in the law enforcement community that were sympathetic to this case. I think this case is a stain on the criminal justice process. This is a case clearly of going after the man, not a crime. Mm-hmm. There is no crime here. There's no crime. Hush money is not a crime. Trying to protect your reputation is not a crime. About entering into a non-disclosure agreement is not a crime, even if you're running for office. Mm-hmm. There is no crime here, and they're trying to manufacture one, and they're trying to interfere with the election. That's what this is.
But you don't think, Bill, I don't have a lot of time left, but you don't think this Colangelo person, from the number 3 job in the Justice Department now being the lead prosecutor in this case, that doesn't connect dots between Mr. Biden and the Alvin Bragg case?
That's one way to read it. I also think there may be, there are federal prosecutors who detest President Trump and, would like to use the legal system to handicap him. So I think that could be a factor here, too.
All right, we'll leave it there. Bill Barr, former Attorney General, continuing friend. Thank you, Bill. We appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Larry.
You betcha. Take care.